were some countries who initially talked about herd immunity as a strategy. In New Zealand, we never, ever considered that as a possibility, ever.
And it's important to recognise it's not to stop everybody getting it. You can't do that. It's not possible to stop everybody getting it. And it's also actually not desirable because you want some immunity in the population.
Herd immunity would have meant tens of thousands of New Zealanders dying, and I simply would not tolerate that, and I don't think any New Zealander would.
Perhaps you could sort of take it on the chin, take it all in one go and allow the disease, as it were, to move through the population.
We currently have 102 cases, but so did Italy once.
We're not doing the things that sometimes perhaps are happening elsewhere just because it seems like a populist thing to do.
But the trajectory is very clear. Act now or risk the virus taking hold as it has elsewhere.
Things like closing schools and stopping big gatherings don't work as well, perhaps, as people think.
We have, for instance, 9 million protective masks already here in New Zealand, should we need them.
Reports that some NHS trusts are running out of protective equipment has caused huge concern.
Due to shortages, we would now have to share masks.
We're still, and will continue, to track and trace every single one of those cases. We know where they came from, what links to overseas travel, who those individuals were in contact with, so that if someone in that contact group then has COVID, we can continue to trace the line of how people came in contact with it.
People were transferred from hospitals into care homes to release pressure on hospitals, but without being tested first. So they were, in effect, carrying the COVID-19 into places where there were lots and lots of vulnerable people.
Every person entering New Zealand will be required to self-isolate for 14 days. These are the toughest restrictions in the world.
Still today, you can continue to fly into the UK with no checks, no measures, no screening, no tests and no quarantine.
Apply a simple principle. Act like you have COVID-19.
I was at a hospital the other night where I think there were actually a few coronavirus patients, and I shook hands with everybody.
Because we believe that decisive action, going hard and going early, gave us the very best chance of stamping out the virus. And it has. We have done what very few countries have been able to do. We have stopped a wave of devastation.
Because I know there will be many people looking now at our apparent success.
Britain is on track to record one of the worst coronavirus death tolls in Europe.